What's up everybody, Ryan here. Got a new customer, no AC. You hear the blower running, so I hopped up on the roof. I found the unit. She's a carrier. I got a condenser fan running. No warm air coming out of the top. Something's going on with this one. You hear the blower running. Sounds like a squeaky belt. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this sucker up and see what we've got going on. Well, I'd say we have an issue. The compressor is a complete ball of ice. Suction line is iced up all the way back. So I can only assume that our evaporator is going to be a complete block of ice as well. Well, not a complete block. We've got a space in the middle of the evaporator that is not iced up. Filters aren't horrible. This one is frozen into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the, look at that. Iced up here, iced up there, not iced up here. I'm gonna get the blower running. Gonna disable the air conditioning and run this blower and go ahead and get this thing thawed out. See if we can figure out why it iced up. Icy. I'm wondering if it's low or if it's got a restriction. It has had some work done before. I'm gonna go ahead and get the AC disabled, get that blower running, and see if we can't thaw this thing out. Of course, you know we're gonna check the heat exchanger. It's a must. It's a must. And by the look of the front plate, it's looking pretty crusty. So we'll give it a good look as well. All right, guys, I pulled Y1 and Y2 here. So the air conditioning wouldn't run. And then I turned power back on. And the compressor kicked on, so I took the cover off and we've got a welded compressor contactor. There we go. So that could very well be why it's iced up. 208, 230, we're in the safe zone. All right. Okay, now we get that blower running. There we go. So we're gonna need a contactor for sure. Get this cover put in place. That way we can thaw this coil out and start over. Just poking around this thing, and I noticed with Y1 and Y2 disabled, it is opened our economizer and pulling outside air. So possibly the minimum position is not set properly. I'm not quite sure. We're gonna dig into that, see what we got going on with this economizer while it melts this ice. Ooh, yeah. This thing's gonna get bypassed. It's all crusty. I've got corroded wires. So that's gonna be bypassed. We are melting at a rapid rate. I can't even read what's on these controls. It's all corroded. I'll get some pictures of that, but this thing's just gonna get bypassed for now. Let's go ahead and pull the plug, see if this economizer closes. There it goes. That's more like it. That's what we want. So this, I'm just gonna jump it out and bypass that. This control's shot. It's just too corroded. It's dirty. So that, oh, and that wire just snapped right off. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. We're just gonna bypass it here. Let this thing continue to thaw out. Looks like we're melting pretty quick. This side would like to get the ice off all of this. So I'll probably get some hot water in my pump sprayer and spray that down. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get this economizer bypassed. I got the economizer bypassed. Evaporator coil is thawed out. Compressor thawed out for the most part. I sprayed some hot water on it and kind of broke the ice apart very carefully. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna pull this side panel. I'm gonna inspect this heat exchanger. I have to get that contactor replaced, and then we'll be able to start this thing up. We still got some investigating to do. All Alright guys, I had to go get some reinforcements here. I've got some wasps. I don't see them now, but every time I start digging into something, here they come. Heat exchanger, there's one right there, you pesky bastard. Don't really want to spray in here. Get out of here. Ah, there we go. Got him. There you go. Crunch. All right. One down, 2 to go. Oh, there's it. Got him. Got him. Got him. Crunch. All right, where's number 3 at? Maybe he learned his lesson. He'll go bother someone else. We got water dripping out of every corner of this thing. Anyway, heat exchanger, I don't see a crack, but it certainly does not look like it's in the best shape. That doesn't look good. There may be a crack under there, but I don't see any open holes or anything like that, so we will note it and move on. All right, boys, the fight's back on. I got 2 more coming at me. They must have smelled death in the air. Like I said, every time I get going, there's one. Come on, you son of a... Get away from my tools. All right. Well, I'm just gonna stay on guard here. Pulleys seem fine. Bearings seem fine. The belt, we're gonna need a new belt. It's just a little squeaky. So now I'm looking over my shoulder every minute. Anyway, I'm gonna get these back in place and get my gauges hooked up. I'm leaving those filters out. The one got ripped up with the ice, so I got another one.
Yeah, absolutely total control right there. Watch this. Yeah.
Right there, I got one more flying around. He'll get his. I want to check these this contactor before I replace it and just see, did it have a loose connection? No, it's good and tight. You know, what the hell caused that? It's on there tight. Power is off, fellas and lady. The one lady that watches my video, you know who you are. I don't believe a loose connection caused that. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out so we can fire this thing up and figure it out. Got him. Oh, got him with my hat. Here's another one. Come here. Come here. These freaking things coming out of nowhere. This one's aggressive. Now that I've been swinging at him. Did I get him? There you go. I'm not normally like afraid of wasps and stuff. I generally don't mess with them. They don't mess with me, but these ones have become aggressive. Oh, there he is. I swatted him and I trapped him in the water. All right, back to this. I got 2 more wires left. And as you can see, it is crusty. Definitely got hot. I want to find out why. I'm tired of this already. Let's get this thing up and running and go from there. Contactor's in. Blower's been looked at. Heat exchanger's been inspected. Drain is clean, and there's another one. Come on, you son. Got him. Getting tired of this. This hat, though. It's the Blue On Pro hat. It's also the Blue On Pro wasp swatting hat, because it's 3 for 3 already today. Oh, I want to check the wiring on this compressor. Just make sure nothing goofy's going on here. We got nice, tight, clean connections. So I'm going to pop that off real quick and get my gauges hooked up. And here we go. Everything looks good in here. I made sure they're all tight. I took my rag, I kind of wiped it out because it was a little bit wet. All right, guys, says R22 on the data plate, but I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna go with it. All right, well, she fired right up. Let me get this door on. It's rising, it's coming back up. So let's let this thing run for a bit. See what we got going on. I can feel air movement through the coil, so I'm wondering if this thing's low on refrigerant, never shutting off. That's what killed the contactor. and the fact that the economizer was never closing. I want to get an amp draw on this compressor because it's looking like it's low to me. Amp draws at 12 and 13. It is not the original compressor, and I can't find a amp draw rating on the tag for the compressor. Running load amp 16, so if we follow that, we're below. 59 pounds of suction pressure with a 33-degree saturation temperature. You know, I switched it over to 422B, and I've got 60 pounds of suction, which puts our saturation temperature at 40 degrees. I'm wondering if somebody put in the drop in and never marked it. I'm gonna shut the unit off. I'm gonna get that standing pressure again, and I'm going to convert it standing pressure on a PT chart and see what we've got in here. I mean, we're putting out 52-degree air. We are dumping heat, and I'm betting you somebody put in 422B perhaps and didn't mark it, and now it looks low when it's set on 22. The suction line is good and cold. Nothing is freezing up on our distributor. I'm gonna shut it off, get my clamps hooked up. Now I'm on a dilemma. Do I have 22 in here and it's low, or do I have 422B in here and it's right on the money? I think I got 422B in here. My saturation temperature at standing pressure 109 is 69.4. I'm reading 70.7 ambient temperature outside. It's a lot closer than the R22, which would be 63.6 degrees saturation temperature at 109 pounds. So I think when this compressor was replaced, somebody charged it with 422B. So I'm gonna let this thing run on 422B, see if we get any freezing up or anything along those lines. Like I said, I've looked. I don't see where anybody would have marked that this unit has 422B in it now. So, I don't know. We're gonna go with it. I got it running. I got 16.4 degrees of superheat. I'm putting out 51-degree supply temp. I think I've gotten rid of all the wasps. None of them have been around lately. I think I got about 7. 51, we're at 72. All right, guys. I gave this thing a quick scan with the leak detector. Just everywhere, all the usual spots. Inside, on the evaporator. It didn't pick up a thing. Nowhere. So, without knowing 100%, I mean, the saturation temperature for our 422B is 71.4. 71.4 here. I'm getting 72.6. I'm gonna lean towards it having 422B in it. I'm gonna mark it on the door, R22 or 422B with a question mark. All right, guys, I marked it. For R22, R422B, question mark. I'm leaning towards 422B. Everything's looking right on the money for 422B. I'm not freezing up. I've got a 20-degree split. I'm putting out 50-degree air. Nothing's freezing up. We have some other things to write up on this. The economizer control, belts and filters. I'm gonna suggest they pull the refrigerant out, do a leak search, replace the filter dryer, and just recharge it with 422B. Then we can mark it properly and go from there. They might just say, you know what, for 7 pounds of refrigerant, just go ahead and suck it out, put a new filter dryer in there. But I've got other calls to go on. It is cooling, it's dumping some heat. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. I appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments on this. What would you have done? Would you have done something differently? Would you have come to the same conclusion as me? I'm betting it's 422B, but like I said, I'm gonna leave that decision up to someone else, and they can make the call on that. Appreciate you watching. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That'll notify you anytime I got a new video coming out. Leave me a comment, hit like. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.